Well, welcome back to Otaku News Live for the week ending May 14th, 2011. Wasn't sure if it was recording there for a minute. And we are back with the full cast of characters, everyone doing their thing. And hello to everyone. Hey, Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, thank you. And I liked your sort of introduction. It was like, well, okay, so we are recording. Maybe, I don't know. Should we?
This is professional.
Yeah,
I tell you.
We're always professional. That's
Absolutely.
how it goes.
Absolutely. So, so we got Matt here. Brad, thank you for joining us as well.
Hello, hello. It's nice to be here.
Glad to have you. Miniman's back. How's it going?
I'm scared. I'm a character. That makes me fictional. That means I don't exist. Oh god, I'm disappearing to a phase of non-existentiality.
That's okay. Keanu will come by.
Happy Eurovision Day. British Bulldog.
And welcome, Zan. How are things going this week?
Hello, everyone. How's it going? And for the last hour, I've been figuring out how this computer works.
Nice.
Did that dog just fart?
No, it's the Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatians, and you can shake his tail.
Oh, it sounds like a fart ripping.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's move on to the news, of which we have a lot of weird things.
Professionalism.
Hey! A lot of weird news stories this week. Starting off with some licensing news, because everyone likes licensing news. Funimation has announced the DVD and broadcast and merchandising rights to Kurage Hime, Princess Jellyfish, show that it simulcasted this past fall. And they have already stated they will be releasing it on DVD and Blu-ray disc next year, 2012. Apparently, this was inspired by an inquiry they posted on Facebook, asking basically, would you buy this if we, made it available in physical form? And enough folks said yes, that they decided to move forward with it, which is kind of remarkable. I mean, Kurage Hime, as I recall, is one of those shows that came out. Folks were like, that's different, and then ignored.
Yeah, I'm not entirely surprised, though, because Kurage Hime pretty much introduced, if anyone remembers, the lead voice actress for the Japanese version. She went on to get every role, every season for any cute female character ever.
That would be let's see here. I'm going through the notes. I never actually got to see this. Tsukimi Kurashida, is that the name of the character?
I believe so. I can check real quick myself while everyone else talks.
She has a huge. Well, she's done stuff before. But she's worked on Steins Gate, Strike Witches, To Loveru, The World God Only Knows, Kanagi, Bangaku Shoujo, Break Blade, Angel Beats.
That's her.
Wow, yeah.
Wait, she was in Bangaku Shoujo?
Yeah.
She's been in everything.
Gosh. Bigata HK, Darker Than Black.
Hold on.
The list goes on. Man.
Don't mention
And, like, they're all, like, main characters, too.
Hooray! Voice actress.
Well, I think what's particularly interesting about that too is how Funimation said explicitly, basically, we're going to ask you guys what would you buy physically. Now the other question is, will they actually buy it?
Yeah.
But at least that's the at least they're trying.
And all of
I
you,
would say.
Yeah.
And if you're in Britain and you're a huge fan of the show, feel free to enjoy your adequate disappointment from when it's going to be licensed everywhere else apart from here.
That does seem to be the common thing.
Including Australia.
Including Australia, yeah.
Well, I think Australia gets it last, though, technically.
No, Australia's gotten a lot of things, especially anime before us.
Yeah.
Games, though?
At least before the UK, because I think we've divined it now that UK prefers manga.
Yeah,
video games,
that's
though?
true.
Sorry, was that?
I heard that Australia gets video games like after the UK.
Yeah,
does.
video games and some
Okay.
DVDs.
Okay,
but
just checking.
Yeah.
anime, they seem to get a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're closer.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, so it's a little. And no, I do not mean that they can ship there faster. Just that the fact that it's just easier in terms of production and talking and so forth.
Mhm.
And heck, I think Australia's on the same longitude, same time zone.
Yeah.
So that'd make it
pretty
easier to
much.
begin with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Also, more Japanese people live there.
Yeah.
What I want to say about this though is I think Princess Jellyfish is like one of the first, at least in my memory, one of the first josei anime to be Funimation to start releasing, because we've
That's a good
seen them
point.
release seinen, we've seen shoujo, we've seen shonen.
Yeah.
We're now seeing finally the fourth piece, and
Yeah.
Princess Jellyfish is very much a josei series.
Yeah.
Worst spin-off manga ever. Fourth piece.
But
Mom?
so and for those of you who don't know,
Essentially me bored
josei
and making jokes.
josei means anime aimed more at adult women, or at least older girls. So it is kind of remarkable. And this is part of the well-known Noi Tamina block over in Japan, which is experimental anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Funimation definitely has always been more of the shonen company with bits of other things. So it's nice to see them branching out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, also, it's, like, really interesting because, like, for example, Brent, a lot of the manga that you were seeing, like, are a lot of josei titles, so maybe they're trying to appeal to your audience, though I wouldn't say Princess Jellyfish is your kind of boat, but still, it's a start. It's a start.
Absolutely. And, more titles are good and more different kinds of titles are good. Hopefully, and actually, for those of you fans who are like, I don't know, if I like this might be the show to show your mother. To show the person who's like, I don't know if I like. Well, here's something that's different that shows you that it's not all Naruto.
Yeah, actually,
unless you have a very conservative mother, because there is a cross-dresser featured in the show prominently.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this series necessarily, but if series are pushed along, more josei, maybe those. Trust me, I've tried to get my parents, my mom on the manga for a while. I've tried Death Note, and I actually recently have a person in my Japanese class who has her mother reading One Piece. I'm like, wow.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm guessing as soon as you heard that, you were like, can I come live with you?
The ultimate one of come with you. Just some random person on our bus, and I once got bored and decided to talk to her one day. And basically, as we're talking, it turned out that her parents were actually like pretty hardcore otaku, and the little girl. She was recommended Phantom and Karaoke Kai by her parents.
Wow.
I was just like, please adopt me. Any parent that recommends Phantom is in my good list of parenting books.
Any parent that recommends anime should be in every otaku's good book.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Isn't
We
that
should
like
make an Otaku No Video list.
Of all the parents that recommend anime, and then you can say, if you don't like your parents, please ask these for adoption.
Definitely.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Along to the ONV Adoption House. I'm going for that.
That's going to be our next charity, the ONV Adoption House.
Adoption agencies.
Oh, one thing I should say before we skip this is basic summary of Princess Jellyfish. Basically, girl pretty much lives as a nun almost, not literally, but like almost. And suddenly this cross-dressing guy is like thrown into her life, and madness ensues almost.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
it's cute.
Different
And
stuff.
also a really weird ass opening that any sci-fi or nerd would love to death.
Nice.
It has references to every single like sci-fi movie imaginable.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Apart from Battlefield X, that stuff.
yeah, apart from that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Why would you have every camera angle slanted? Why?
Because it's edgy. All right, so moving on. This is kind of an interesting little one. So there was a poll that went out to folks in the Kanto area of Japan, which is the prefecture that includes Tokyo, and they basically it was an internet survey asking basically what should exercise restraint and what should not exercise restraint in the times after the earthquake. What should be changed basically about people's social activity. And so folks suggested that things like Electricity should definitely be that use should be reduced. Gasoline should be reduced. Speedboat rating, you don't need to do that as much. But they said the things that should not show self-restraint include things like comedy programs, events and concerts, drinking at home. Thought that was hilarious. Wedding ceremonies, eating out. But the one with the most, 68% of folks, and the one element with the most votes was anime programs. They felt those were the ones that really should not show self-restraint, shouldn't be censoring themselves and changing themselves in the wake of the earthquake. Presumably, the idea is, look, we all know that anime is, in these shows, especially our, fun cartoons, they're making jokes. They're not trying to do anything to concern anyone, so they probably shouldn't, restrain themselves and change things around. Which is kind of ironic, considering how quickly, I mentioned this on the news show, that anime was like the first thing to jump in and say, okay, we're going to make sure that we're not offending anyone, we're not getting on anyone's nerves, and everyone's saying, it's okay.
This will be probably the weirdest thing I've ever said, but thank you, Japan, for being the voice of reason in the world.
Let's face it, imagine if this poll was in Britain, okay? There's all of it, us complaining, us getting bored with the surveyor, and in the end, what would you keep? Argos.
But who doesn't love Argos? It's like the TARDIS of household goods.
The laminated book of dreams. You know what it's laminated, don't you? To catch the tears of joy. Thank you, Bill Bailey, and look, my Stephen Fry out is going across the screen.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
Again with the internet surveys this week as well. I'm somewhat not surprised about this a lot because this has been done before, obviously, and so far 2 things have happened with us with self-censoring of anime with last-minute disasters. Obviously, I've gone on about this again. Evangelion had to be somewhat censored because of a self-disaster.
Right.
And what was it? Puella Maggie had to be pushed off like 2 weeks for the final 2 episodes, and apparently all of like 25% of Japan had to be had to wait for that, who actually tuned in to watch it or something like that.
Well, look at Moshidora. Look what happened to that show.
It just ended.
I know. What I'm talking about is how they had to push it all back. It was originally going to be a weekly broadcast, and it got pushed back, so eventually they released it, daily, because they had gotten, basically to the end of the show, like, okay, well, we've got all, 10 episodes done, boom, 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 and I think that was, a lot of folks were looking forward to Moshidora, and I think, unfortunately, that really changed. A lot of folks didn't know where it was, and it didn't get nearly the attention it would have gotten because of that disaster.
Yeah, for the record, I actually watched that show, and if that was actually the intended ending, I don't know. It just seemed like last-minute plot device happened. And
it might have changed, but it's sad that a lot of people didn't get to watch it because any show that can bring a tear to my eye is good in my book.
It definitely made me feel better at the end, but I felt that episode 8 plot twist was kind of like, where did that come from?
And to be fair to shows like Moshidora, that was pushed back more because, they were doing emergency broadcasts. So I think that stuff isn't so much that. It was more stuff like, they stopped showing Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. They reworked some scenes in things. And I think folks were saying, no, we can handle shows like Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. And in fact, I think it's one of the things, and of course they're not saying this specifically, but I think one of their points is that's actually good. Having those things out there that actually deals with these things. I was talking to a friend of mine. He said, it was remarkable seeing how quickly after the atomic bomb dropped that folks started publishing manga about, the dropping of the bomb. And the Japanese seem really good at working through these issues quickly. So it's good seeing them saying, no, we want to actually sort of be in the face of these things and not avoid it.
It's all about ganbatte. That's what it's all about, which means perseverance.
Exactly.
Hey.
So yes, Japan is being reasonable. Imagine that. Now if we can
imagine if this happened anywhere in the West.
Now we just need to work on their politicians a little bit. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some kind of more goofy news. Do we want to talk about Barcode Geass Lelouch of the Sale?
Just like,
Sure.
give me a sec to just get.
I have no interest, no comment, no nothing. It's just too far out there.
So there's this new 4-komo manga, and one of the new titles is called Barcode Geass Lelouch of the Sale, in which Lelouch Lamperouge is a part-time worker at a convenience store. And
I do have a question.
that's it.
I do have a question. Is this going to be like a 4-panel comic strip where he basically, the punchline is every time at the end of the comic he just goes, buy this?
No,
Because that's what it sounds like.
Sure does.
It's just going to turn into C, but worse. C's awesome.
To me, what it sounds like is like he at the end of each panel would be like, I ruled the world once for about 5 minutes.
Well, the other remarkable thing is that the script supervisor and the director are both, they both came up with the story. So it's like an official thing. It's not just we're going to do goofy stories. Now I doubt there's going to be any specific story there, but it's not just some random guy doing a Lelouch story.
No, it's basically just going to be just like clean up on aisle 3. Okay, you need to go over there. I'll get back over there. Okay, that goes there, and that goes there. Shoot, got it.
I want to see if the mecha show up. Are those used to clean the aisles or something? I don't know.
I don't know. Code Geass is very strange, as in only in the anime do the mecha show up, and in the manga they don't.
Yeah.
There's like all these parallel universes in Code Geass.
Well, that's true. That's the other thing, is that like every adaptation of Geass, almost every adaptation is a new universe. So which I think is one of the reasons why I think this is neat. Is it's like, okay, you built something where this actually makes sense and can work, and folks aren't going to say that's just stupid. They can say, oh, that's fun and that's goofy. We'll try it.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it's sort of like a fan service being done by the main directors.
Yeah.
Not fan service, sorry, a fan fiction.
Yeah.
Because you do get fan fiction that is totally out there. Like, I've read a World of Warcraft Haruhi fan fiction.
Wow.
And and it's never done by a professional writer. It's done by people like me. And it's nice to see someone like the directors or the original people doing this, because it's kind of like, what did they imagine the characters do in their spare time? And apparently it's get part-time jobs at convenience stores.
The thing is, this isn't going to change my utter despise for Code Geass.
We'll leave that for another time, Miniman.
Here's the deal, okay? If they basically do what they did in that Mitchell and Webb sketch, in which they made a massive robot mech of death and used it as a huge barcode scanner, I will let them do that, and I will enjoy it. But if one of those mechs is not a barcode scanner, my God, I will kill everyone.
I do have this big image of someone walking up toward the cash register with a mech, and then the character just looking up and going, I'm going to need a bigger scanner.
That'll be 9 billion, 8 million yen.
No, as in like the main girl's, her laser arm is actually just one of those little scanning lasers.
Yeah. There we go.
So like just massive mech there. I want to buy this. Next, I get and also think about it. You try and steal a store, they shoot you in the face.
True. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
In a way that only manga makes sense.
Now thinking about this reminds me of this is like a crossover of Code Geass with Clerks.
Ooh!
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
I would love that. Love Clerks.
Wow. All the characters
not,
cursing constantly.
That's it. If a single panel's in color, it's ruined it.
Right.
That's awesome.
I would sign up for that, totally.
They better have the 2 drug dealers in it, though. I'm not.
I was about to say, we need Lelouch dealing with 2 drug dealers out in front.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you gotta figure out who the drug dealers would be from the end. I can't think.
Pretty easy. Let's think about it, okay? Who's the one person that makes him go through a billion stupid visions? What's the name of that of the thing that gives him powers again?
C2.
Yeah, C2. She gives him powers. He goes into that huge hallucinogenic state on the first episode. We've got our drug dealer. She didn't, and the big twist is she didn't actually give him powers. It was that he was taking cocaine, so he just imagined the entire story.
Nice.
While he was in the back of the convenience store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The entire series.
Dreaming the end.
We're writing a fan fiction right now. And he says, this is the shiz.
This smells good. You can just imagine it beginning with him like dreaming the end of the series and someone just whacking him over the head with a broom, saying, "Get back to work."
It's funny enough you talk about that because I actually read a comic after Code Geass ended, and it just has like Lelouch in a bed and in the world of XXX Holic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ow.
I'll find a link to that because my cousin sent me that, so I'll send that. I'll find that sometime.
That's interesting.
I can't follow this because I can't follow all those universes.
Yeah. I
hard.
try reading Tsubasa. It's hard.
Yeah.
For my sadistic pleasure, I just want Lelouch to wake up and be in Dead Man Wonderland.
There we go.
Just so I can watch the poison seep through his body gradually. Because he had failed to get a candy big time.
So let's move on to another wacky bit of news here. A company called Dinos or something, Dinos, has released a car navigation system themed around One Piece. Although be careful when searching for it because they actually spell it Once Piece.
Wow.
So, ouch. But basically, they've got Luffy, Nami, and Chopper as voices. And special images specifically drawn for the product are on there. It'll be shipping it shipped April 22nd. So you can basically drive around with the characters from One Piece giving you directions.
So basically, wherever you go, it will lead you to the sea.
Yes.
Yes. The thing is, it sounds really, really weird that they've done this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, nerds want this.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did something like this and I could drive, and had a car. Actually, I do have a car. I just can't drive it.
There we go.
But if they did something like this for Twaru, Haruhi, anything, any anime that I liked, I'd buy it.
Well,
it's like why I have Haruhi walking around my desktop. I like this shit.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at that from the other perspective. This is basically like doing a Batman GPS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would sell.
It's no worse over here. We've got Darth Vader, Yoda, Ozzy Osbourne. The Ozzy Osbourne one, by the way, if you can find that one, recommend it because it's funny. If you take a wrong turn, it shouts at you.
Nice.
You can just imagine the Batman one just saying, if you make a wrong turn, the Joker's getting away.
If you make a wrong turn,
wins this time.
No, if you make a wrong turn, a little pencil appears from the thing and goes, "I'm gonna show you a magic trick."
It does seem more like the Batman one. Instead of, if you make a wrong turn, Batman's fist just comes out and punches you in the face.
No, only the Chuck Norris one is capable of doing that, I'm afraid.
Yes.
What this show has become.
Professionalism.
See, look, 2 weeks of me being off, and I've already ruined it for you. How's that?
Yeah, this
We
is
need to
true.
save this kind of stuff for Bramovos.
But yeah, it's true. But
We
yeah,
got some intelligence back, so here's my Stephen Fry graduation owl back again.
there we are. Nice.
He's graduated from something, so he's intelligent. From
There
owl
we
school.
are. As is Stephen Fry. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to do these themes. I mean, when you think about it, basically, you're grabbing a couple of voice actors to do a couple hours worth of work, I assume, to record all of the the navigation stuff. You do some drawing. It's basically like a visual novel. It can't be incredibly expensive because all the GPS stuff is already done. You can do that.
I would, but again, it's computer, and the headphone jack is like miles away.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it away from the speakers as I can.
Yeah.
Or just mute when you're not talking.
Echo. I'm in the cave.
So that was kind of an interesting one. So let's move on to something a little more serious. The World Is Mine, which you may know.
Mine.
Oh, okay. Well, the song "The World Is Mine" by Hatsune Miku, by Supercell, but featuring Hatsune Miku, is on sale on the Amazon and iTunes digital music stores. This is the song that was used in that Toyota Hatsune Miku ad that was released online this past week. And so you can buy it for $1 and listen to some pretty darn nice Hatsune Miku music.
Oh, it's great music. I love the guitar riff and everything about it.
Yeah, it's a nice song. Sony also separately announced they're releasing a digital version of Japanese band Flow's Flow Anime Best album. This contains themes from Naruto, Eureka 7, or Eureka, depending on who you're listening to, and Code Geass. There we go, there's a tie-in. Plus 4 bonus tracks, $8 on Amazon and 10 on iTunes. So we're starting to get some anime and Japanese J-pop type music over here in America, which is rather nice.
Yeah. I think actually we talked about this before in a past show. Like we talked about like the flow thing at least. We talked about that. Yeah. Also, in other news, apparently Flow will be appearing at my local convention.
Right.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're mentioning they're going to be at Anime Central and FanimeCon.
Yep, Anime is where I'm going.
Cool. Hooray.
Yay.
People are appearing at my local convention. Don't know. How much money I've got for my local convention? Don't know. I haven't got the tickets yet. I'm screwed.
There we go. But yeah, I think it's interesting that we're starting that's starting to move over a little bit.
Maybe in 2 years I'll never have to convert a YouTube video into an MP3 ever again.
Well, it's one of the nice things about digital is it kind of makes sense saying it's not that we have to re-record it. All we have to do is post it on these other stores. So it makes it a lot easier.
And of course, we learned the vital lesson again of if you buy from iTunes, you're only feeding the soulless bastards an extra $2 of your money.
I buy everything from iTunes, at least all my music.
I buy most of my stuff from Amazon, I have to admit. Mainly because I started with Amazon.
Most of my songs on BitTorrent. Oh no, they don't.
I have no music from BitTorrent. I have no idea what you're talking about. But
I totally did not accidentally steal the entire Genki Rocket album collection. Shut up.
But I got started back when iTunes was locked down, and I bought some stuff on iTunes, but then Amazon, opened up. And I think it's one of the problems with technology is, Amazon said, oh, you download all our stuff for with no DRM. I started using that, and I never went back to iTunes. And it's not that iTunes basically gives me the same product now, but I'm so used to Amazon, I just buy from Amazon all the time. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, I just find it more convenient for iTunes,
Yeah.
Obviously, I have an iPod, so I just plug it in, go to iTunes Store, and it will just download.
Yeah. Makes sense. I guess part of the problem, too, there is that I find myself fiddling with iTunes preferences for how things are stored, because I have to, move things from different computers. So I end up getting a little, it's easier for me to know if it's downloaded to one place.
If you're on iTunes and if you bought it on the online store, you can just press download purchases and it'll download everything you've ever purchased. Yeah, but
the problem is I've got other music from other sources, so I kind of have to manage all those to make sure everything is, if I copy this stuff over, I've got all the stuff, so it's a little more complicated. But
it's painful.
And music is always a little complicated. But anyway, it's nice that we've got that, and it's also interesting that in both of these cases, they're available on both the Amazon and the iTunes stores. So there's choice, and in other words, I'm glad the companies aren't taking the easy route of saying, okay, pick one, just do that one.
Yeah.
So it's good. All right, moving on to a story that I don't care about, but you guys do. A Tekken movie.
Who said I care about Tekken movie?
Well, I said you in the broad sense, not necessarily.
The broad sense is in Miniman.
It's like Christmas to me, hence a Rudolph.
So Namco Bandai announced a new Tekken movie done in stereoscopic 3D. With the full cooperation of the video game development team, which I don't know what that means, other than the fact that they said, "Can we do this?" Sure.
That's usually how it goes.
Brent, can we say orgasm live?
You just said it, you idiot.
I know.
in the appropriate senses, I think. Although I don't know what inappropriate. Anyway,
I think Miniman's having one.
But what's funny is the article I'm reading on Eurogamer.net points out that this follows the 2010 Hollywood live-action critical and commercial flop Tekken.
Wait, if it follows that storyline, then I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm putting this down. Actually, wait.
But what's interesting is that basically, from reading between the lines here, they're basically going to use the high-res 3D models from the game in the animation. So it's
That
going to
does
be
interest me.
it's going to be the same.
Actually, wait.
Obviously, they'll be improved somewhat from the movie, but it's not going to be redone character designs.
Wait, actually, wait. I'm just looking at a screenshot. Kazuya is a main character. I'm putting this back up. Kazuya's cool.
Fair enough.
Have you seen his haircut? It goes back to here.
And this is the other thing that kind of got our attention, is that Dai Sato is going to be, he's already written the script actually. This guy wrote pieces of, and I quote, Cowboy Bebop, Eden of the East, Ergo Proxy, Eureka 7, Freedom, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, both seasons, Macross Frontier, Samurai Champloo, Toward the Terra, and Wolf's Rain.
Have you noticed the only ones in which the first letters are the same are things with the letter E?
There we go.
Just random fact.
Very interesting. So it'll be called Tekken Blood Vengeance.
Yeah.
And there's a trailer out there if you want to check that out. And Eurogamer very helpfully informs us that after the movie's theatrical release, a boxed version with expanded content will be available.
Yeah. Also, like a DVD box set.
Perhaps. This is
That's
stunning
never been
news.
done before.
No.
I mean, it's almost like it should have a name for it, like a box set
Yes.
or a set box. You never know.
No, because there are a lot of speculation about this could hold the much wanted demo of Tekken X Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. So this is one of those.
That's why everyone's excited.
Yeah, so it's not
Because
just
Tekken X Street Fighter, so it's not Tekken versus Street Fighter, it's where all the characters from Tekken and Street Fighter go on dates. That's an interesting game.
I would buy that
that.
game. I would buy and play that game.
Because there's Street Fighter X Tekken, Tekken X Street Fighter. And no one knows anything about Tekken X Street Fighter yet, apart from
It also sounds like a really bad fan fiction.
In other words,
it's a bad fan fiction.
Oh, lovely.
Trust me, there's no Tekken fan fiction person who hasn't done that yet. I can promise you. It's.
So here's a quick screenshot that I've thrown up on the live broadcast for those curious about what it would look like. Which looks very pretty.
They probably called it Tekken X Street Fighter instead of Tekken Versus, because if you search up Tekken Versus, I bet you'll come up with 1 billion fan fictions.
True.
Like,
You've always got that
maybe
problem.
it's just to avoid that.
Yeah. So, who knows? But that's cool. That's cool that we're getting a Tekken Blood Vengeance movie.
Yeah.
And...
pirate.
Arr. And that's it, I think. Was there anything else we wanted to cover?
I don't know.
Really?
Nope.
No.
Short day.
Okay. Yeah, kind of a slow news week, but an interesting one. Odd little stuff this week. So, as usual, I want to thank my wonderful, wonderful guest hosts. Thank you, Brad, for joining us.
Lovely to be here.
Thank you, Miniman, for working out your technical issues and making it here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt, as well, for you and your spiky
I
hair.
can't keep a straight face.
I got dolled up for a 49-minute show.
I know.
My talent is wasted. I'm going to a trailer.
Excellent. We can talk about him now.
I'll sort this out.
Don't tase me, bro.
And thank you, Zan.
Thank you. And also, we forgot the question of the week again, I think.
We always get the question, which is the question of 2 weeks ago, isn't it?
Yes.
Question of a fortnight.
Yes, question of the fortnight.
It shouldn't be the question of the week. It should be the question that we forgot to ask.
Yes. So the question we forgot to ask is, and let me go back and go.
Actually, sounds really awesome.
It does.
Question. It was ratio of streaming and DVD
It was
spot.
indeed. I got one response via email, and I know the YouTube video had a few responses on that. So let me go to the YouTube comment section so we don't miss anything there, which will probably take a few moments to load because of just how fun YouTube is when I'm streaming. So we had, let's see here, Otaku News Live, go to comments. So the email response was from someone who will remain anonymous, so that we don't do anything there, who watches 100% illegal sites for streaming fan subs and dubs. About the only time I've ever watched anime legally is back in the day when Toonami showed Outlaw Star and Tenchi. I do buy some DVDs, but only the shows that I really like, and some of those DVDs are legal as well.
So basically, it's not 100%.
Yeah, it's 98. Then on YouTube, one of the people responded, I would have to say that I watched 70% not viewed properly. The defense is, it's expensive and I'm cheap. I do love character goods, and if I'm a fan, I will own a figure or poster before the series even ends. Honestly, when I do make money, it is spent on goods, and if the anime is something I love, I find a way to own it. Also, I'm more likely to buy and own anime if it comes collected in one purchase, rather than over 8 DVDs. If you just miss one, the collection just doesn't feel right, which is indeed an issue. I think it's one of the reasons why folks have shifted, the industry has shifted over to these box sets as opposed to individual releases.
And the box sets are always a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So how about you guys? Matt, what's your ratio?
Probably about 1 to 10. You know,
which way?
more streaming.
Okay.
Definitely more streaming. You know, it's like I never watch a anime film online. I'll always buy it. You know, because it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a one-time purchase. I don't have to feel, oh, I'm going to have to buy the rest of them. You know, again, the whole series thing. You know, so I always just buy anime films. And if I like a series, I'll more so buy posters and figures than I will the DVDs.
Yeah.
You know, because they're never, you know, it's very, very unlikely that they're going to take the fan subs down. So, you know, I might as well just buy the other stuff that looks pretty. Like posters and large plastic Haruhi statues.
Yeah. Brad, how about you?
With anime, it's 99.99% streaming.
Wow.
0.01% bought, because the only DVD I own is the Cowboy Bebop remix.
Now, of that streaming, how much of it is like fan subs and how much of it is like on the legal sites?
100% of it's fan subs.
Okay, fair enough. Understood.
Although I make up for it with 100% of my manga purchases being totally legal.
Ah. Yeah, okay.
Good man.
Fair enough, fair enough. Zan, how about you?
I'm gonna have to go maybe 70 probably. I tried doing my best of watching streams via Streamsuki. Ready to watch it now. It's on the French page.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, like for example, if the anime that you recommend or any of my friends recommend, I check Streamsuki first, but unfortunately, it's usually not on there, so I have to end up using my sites, and they usually have it. I try my best to use the legal sites like Hulu. Crunchyroll, I'm only going to be watching Gundam on Crunchyroll just because they need to work on their ads. I'm sorry, but I believe there's good ads and then there's just tedious ads. And those ads with the talking airplane animals is just annoying as hell.
Yeah.
And it's with the repeated one, the same one over and over again.
Yeah.
Then I want to shoot myself.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yes. Crunchyroll, just get more ads. Do what Hulu's doing and get more ads.
Yeah.
Vary it up a bit.
They would get more ads if they could. You know, the thing is, people don't want to advertise on that kind of site because, you know, the advertising probably doesn't get the advertisers much money. You know, so, you know, they can't get the ads because no one wants to advertise on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could find companies that would advertise on there. But, you know, Crunchyroll is more focused on, you know, getting the anime.
And it's going to take time.
You know, I'd rather them focus on getting the anime than getting
ads. The same thing happened with Hulu. You know, when Hulu first launched, they had one ad forever. At Honda, I think, or something like that. I remember going on there and I'm getting the same ad for like weeks.
YouTube's got that problem now.
But I had that. But I had that exact same problem with some of these sites. Gosh.
Yeah, like with Crunchyroll, for example, the only problem I have is like, okay, you have an ad, and then you have another ad right after it's the same ad.
Yeah.
That's another thing. But Hulu, I actually have a schedule where Funimation releases a new episode of One Piece, English dubbed, a new episode every week. And I like getting that process because I actually like the Funimation dub of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do watch a lot of stuff. That's kind of why I'm more of an anime manga guy because less than gaming. Unfortunately, I've really taken a backseat to gaming just because gaming costs so much these days. And I don't have a job or anything. I'm trying to get one this summer, but like, especially trying to balance it with school and.
Well, just do what you do with the anime. Pirate it all.
Video. It's gonna be tricky.
Just do what you do with the anime. Pirate it all.
Unfortunately, I mean, I try my best. just recently I bought Summer Wars on DVD and Fooly Cooly.
Ah.
Yeah,
Nice.
for my birthday, but like that's about it. And I
Yeah.
have like Yu Yu Hakusho and the Gurren Lagann DVDs.
So
Other
how
than
about
that, manga,
so-
I am a totally awesome manga otaku, just because it's $8 a volume, and that's a lot, especially if you compare it to comics, which is like $5 maybe for a comic.
Are you the guy that keeps
Anything,
sending
though?
me links to totally legal online mangas? Or some
Totally
otaku in
well, not online. I'm talking about like buy them in the store.
Yeah, but you don't always do that. You
True.
read a lot
Yeah, but
online.
I try making up for it. For example, I'm reading One Piece online, but I'm also buying it in the stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try. I mean, of course, like a lot of the reviews that I do with you, Matt, are illegal manga, but also it's because it's not up here or over there.
Yeah.
And that's actually part of the thing. I've been talking too much. Just one more thing, though. Part of the reason that I want to do with Otaku Underground is, like, I want to say, hey, this is a really cool manga. You guys want to try translating this? Might make money, maybe. But yeah, I'm done. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. How about you, Miniman?
I'm just sad I just failed the mission. Sadly. Surprisingly high. I'd say about 50% of it is DVDs.
Good.
So 50% streams, so not too bad.
Yeah.
And 30 to 40% is, I'd say 30%, no, I'll go 25. 25% legal, 25% fan subs. But more fan subs recently with the new animes, definitely, like with the whole, so I know that probably bumps the illegal up to about 30, 35.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things about this question is it's like, okay, you know, does one episode count as a whole show, you know?
Just in case of Funimation, like, person one time is a voice actor watching, I'm going to cover my face so they can't, you know, they don't know that.
I have no idea who that is.
I'd never do illegally, you know, download 26 episodes of a Funimation anime. And then, you know, when they take the streams off, Sony complained at them that they didn't bring the DVD over here. Would I Phantom Requiem for the Funimation?
But yeah, so the
no, I've only actually, but the whole thing that Matt said with films, I totally agree with DVD films. I've only actually ever imported, ever downloaded 2 films, actually 3 if you count 5 centimeters per second. I bought that off. And they were actually Bungaku Shoujo, which is now here yet, and the Sky Crawlers.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, so so here's my and my answer to the question is kind of complex for the reasons we've been covering. I have this firm policy, which I've had for the past 10 years or so, where basically I will watch the first episode of a show fan sub, and if I watch any more of that, then I buy on DVD as much as I watched. So if I end up watching like 3 episodes, then I'll buy the first volume at least once that's released over here. And
but if you want to maintain your moral conscience and watch legal online animes, perhaps go over to a certain website that we might advertise at the bottom of the screen.
Possibly. There might actually be some place where you could actually go and watch legal anime if you wanted. A site like streamsuki.com would actually show you where to go to get such things.
It should be named after something like a lake and a Japanese word for like.
There we go. I think that works very well. But no, so...
Oh, I get it. Like stream.
Yay!
I'm not stupid anymore.
Yeah.
I can do numbers.
So for those of you who are thoroughly confused about what we keep talking about, by the way, I'm sure there are a few folks. I launched a site a few months ago called streamsuki.com, which is basically an index of all of the legal streaming anime that I can find on the internet, and it's automatically updated. So as new shows come out and as new episodes come out, they're all added to that automatically. So if you are curious about what's available legally, you can go there and find out. So I do that, and basically, so if something's available streaming, I try to go to the legal version if there's a legal version available. It was kind of weird. The past couple of seasons, there were a few things where it's like, you know, Funimation is simulcasting this, and we're fan-subbing it anyway. Okay. So I try to go with the legal route on that. But, I mean, the other side of that, and why I ask people and why I'm honest about this, is that that's expensive. I spend between 100 and 200 bucks a month on anime, just to keep up with that, because that's my policy, and I can. I'm fortunate to have a job that pays well, and because I don't spend money on anything else, frankly. So that works, but I do say, now on the other hand, there was a time when I was buying these things at $30 a disc, like 3 episodes a disc. So it's gotten a lot easier for people, I think, to buy anime. But you gotta find your spot. And there's a lot of anime where I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes, not gotten interested in it, and I've never bought anything for it. And that's just what you got to figure out.
I think as well, the area, the place you live in, has a big factor in what it is you exactly from the otaku world take legally. Yeah. It's like in England, I know no one that actually knows about like places like Manga Fox. I mean, they've heard of it, but it's like, I've asked them once or twice. It's like, do you use Manga Fox? No, why would I? I'll just buy it. But then, it's like, do you know about Anime Avenue? And they'll be like, yeah, I use it all the time. Over here, it seems to be a lot more people legally acquiring anime. But over in America, I do hear a lot more people using Manga Fox and Backetskate, stuff like that.
Yeah, they do both.
Yeah. Just a question. Because Brent works at NASA, is anyone, when he said, I launched a new site, did anyone get excited just unnecessarily when he said, I launched, and get disappointed by the end of the sentence? They're like, I launched. What satellite did he? Oh, right, it's just an arc.
Just the image of Brent sat in front of a big red button with a dictatorship uniform, just going, fire the missiles!
Wait, when did you say German?
He's secretly German.
You do not know what you are talking about.
The onions!
It's actually funny that you bring that up, Matt, but I'll talk about it after the show. Anyway, yeah. I think we should wrap this up, though.
All right. Yeah. So the question of the week for next week would be the next thing to bring up, and I'm looking through here. There was something I wanted to cover, but I'm actually not too thrilled with that. So the question for next week, we're going to go philosophical. We're going to go really
that we
weird.
will forget.
The question which we will forget, you always forget, why do you watch anime? Not why did you get into anime? Why are you still watching it now?
You always have to make me think.
I know.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
You've made me. Now you're making me search my own soul.
Yeah.
I mean, this is personal torture. Math, then soul searching?
Yeah. I ask a lot of people, but that's what I do.
It's actually quite funny, because a while ago I was actually planning on doing sort of a YouTube channel, which I was going to call Robosophy, which is just my philosophy on everything.
Nice.
And one of the planned episodes was, why do I watch this stuff?
Yeah, I think
there's something good to watch on telly.
Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to ask is I think I've run into a lot of folks who get into anime and they keep watching it, and I'm like, you don't seem to actually like any of this stuff based on what you've said. And I think a lot of folks just don't really think about, they get into it and they just sort of keep on doing it. So, some of us have that passion. Where did that passion come from? So
well, we have a new tagline now. ONV, we dig deeper into the depths of your soul.
And your wallet. So
yes, we know all.
So with that, thank you to my guest hosts, and we will see you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
ONV is Skynet.
See you again this year.
I'm going to eat my arm. Ow.